And we are allowed to do one to do the PowerPoint.
Do we start?
We can start, yeah. I don't think there's enough.
Okay. Well, welcome. My name is Jerry Shefzik. I'm chairperson of the Clark County Art Committee. I'm calling this meeting to order today, August 11th at 3:34 p.m. And now we have the roll call. Well, I'm Jerry. I'm here. I call your name if you give us your name and here. Mary,
Mary Sabo here.
thank you. Alexia,
Alexia Chung here.
thank you. And Alfredo,
Excuse.
excuse, thank you. Heather,
Yes.
was that excused?
Excuse, yeah.
Okay, Ken,
Ken Ruffin here.
thank you. And Sean,
John Russell here.
thank you. All right, agenda item number 2, public comments. It's
There's
a period
no
to vote.
public.
Pardon?
No public.
No public? Oh, well, then I'll save my voice. All right, moving on then to agenda item number 3, approval of the agenda for August 11th. We have a motion to approve this agenda.
I do want to make one addition to the budget. So in the budget area, but not part of new projects, I do want to address a graphic designer vendor payment.
That be in section 5?
I think so.
Okay. Then, need a motion to approve the agenda with that addition in section 5?
This is Alexia. I'll move to approve the amended agenda.
Thank you, Alexia. And I have a second?
Ken Ruffin, second.
Thanks, Ken. Motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye,
Aye.
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 or raise your hand. Thank you. Then agenda item number 4, approval of the minutes of July 14th, 2026. They were included in the email. If you haven't had, hopefully you've had a chance to read them. Anyway, I need a motion to approve those minutes. Can I make that motion?
To approve the minutes. John Russell.
Thank you, Sean. I have a motion to approve. I have a second.
Alexia will second it.
Thank you, Alexia. All in favor, please signify by saying aye to approve the minutes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Now, moving on to agenda item 5, the budget presentation. And this is above my pay grade, so Mickey?
Yeah, so we're gonna start with just a quick review of what we've gone over. Just keep it on this page, that these And so I just wanted to remind you all that we have already presented Mountain Crest mural, the public arts crosswalk with a change there. So Eileen and I had met with a engineer that is expertise is streets. Sorry, let me back that up. I met with the director and deputy director of public works a few weeks ago. I talked to them about the crosswalk project and what would it take for them to kind of buy into potentially doing more of these on our actual streets here in town. And they said that they would obviously need some legitimate testing done to see where, does this work? There was also kind of a red flag. Does this make people slam on their brakes and stop? If you put murals on the ground, all of those fun things. So we met with an engineer that is going to put together a proposal. They are roughly saying, without doing the math yet, in our quick 2-hour meeting, came up with about $20,000. So I wanted to make this project robust, say $50,000 for that project so that we have plenty of money to throw at the testing portion of this. And then we have Sunset Fence art that doesn't change. And then Hollywood Baseball Park at $100,000. And now we're at the new proposal. So if you go there, then I'll let Eileen talk to you about that one.
Mickey,
Yes.
question on B. Crosswalk, is it a crosswalk? Is it more than one crosswalk? Is it?
It's just one crosswalk. Yeah, it's just one crosswalk at Sunset. So most of this money would be spent on the testing.
On the what?
On the testing or the metrics of how fast were people going before we put the painting. After that we put out the painting, did they see a significant decrease in speed? And then after a few months, did they get back to status quo in our speed?
With the new mural?
Yes.
Okay.
So these are all things that are in, I guess, the public works realm of case studies that they have on distraction of signs. At what point does, new things pop up and then people get used to it and they go back to status quo. So we want to make sure that we do this project right that have some real meaningful impact. Can we put this? So at this point, these murals will never go at a busy intersection. They're not going to go at Blue Diamond and Russell. Just not going to happen. But can they go on a small side street that is maybe having problems with speeding in the school zone? Can we advocate that public works that this would be a nice thing for slower streets to reduce the speeds?
How much of the budget would go to the artist?
Not much. Let's go over to that page. Gianna, can you move it to that presentation?
I think she had to get the door.
Oh, okay. So with the crosswalk, we were looking at $20,000 possibly for. Okay, so for the artists, you're looking at about $10,000 out of about 50.
So the artist would buy the materials?
Yes. Yeah, artists usually, they'll buy the materials. I don't know that the materials are gonna cost that much, but. And then there's, that'll be labor.
Yeah. Well, the design too, so.
And then,
Mhm.
surface preparation, could be them, or they could be paying a secondary vendor to do that with the pressure wash the ground. And then they'd have to pay a company to close the road, to redirect traffic, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of initial money, but I think it is funding well spent to ensure that we can do these projects in other places. Because without the data, we'll never gonna convince Public Works to do this.
Oh, we need to get it right the first time.
Yeah. This company that we're talking to, the engineer, they'll help us write the scope as well for the call. And then they also are gonna provide like guidelines on how to do it in a way that Public Works, will feel confident in it. So this is a company that they utilize quite a bit. I think this company is known, where those issues and clues are. And then we did get word, they're gonna help identify, but it's most likely this top part of the Z that you're seeing. That's the space that will do the crosswalk at, because that has an ADA corner on both sides.
Okay, that's the aerial view of Sunset Park.
It is, yeah.
Okay,
So this is, this rectangle that you're seeing, what looks like maybe solar panels, that's the, Public Works office, that's our trailer. And then, we all park in that parking lot and cross.
looks like a double wide.
It is, yeah.
Is there a sealer that goes on this at the end?
We haven't yet dived that deep on it yet, but yes, we want to utilize paint that is similar to what Public Works already utilizes, because we know it holds up. But past that, no, we don't know what.
Because they paint the speed bumps in my little neighborhood once every 2 years. And they have to repaint them. I don't think they seal them. I think they just paint them. And
Yeah.
that will probably get more traffic than my neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be nice to seal them. I don't know what product we could seal them with that is also safe for people to walk on and makes it not slip. But part of that is utilizing some type of additive into the paint, like sand, to make that paint gritty, and then put a sealant on it could be impossible. The other thing we kind of talked about with that engineer is we have, the county has a monthly contract with a mobile car wash. And so we'll do experiments with that too, like, how long can these things go without being washed? And we test it with, uh, street sweeper. Will street sweeper from these things? We need a mobile car wash to come to. That's why I say busy street stuff. It's not gonna be. Would most definitely be a waste of funding that. But there are things like, there's a park called Tree in Clark County. It is right across the street from an elementary school. It's not a prime spot, but it's, or on Hollywood Boulevard, they've added those bicycle lanes. But I've noticed a lot of cars turning into those bicycle lanes. And those be painted at those entrances to avoid a car driving into us.
Okay, well, that was a good dive into the the budget breakdown. So thank you.
So, are we okay with going to that new pitch?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Do you want me to jump on, Mickey, and explain the project? Okay, so these arches are located in front of the Pearson Community Center. If you remember, we had artist Mike Norris do the pillars inside of Pearson Community Center. We are hoping to get him as well to do these arches. So these arches, I believe they started talking about it sometime last year, but we would like Mike Norris to go ahead and design and paint a mural on all three of the arches, hopefully front and back. And we are hoping to have not exactly a theme, but we want it to be a wayfinder for the community to see where the main entrance is for the Pearson Community Center. And I have spoken to Mike Norris already. He is very much excited to do this project for us. Just depends on if we get this project okayed.
Mike did those pillars in the community center. As he was painting those, the community center staff all were coming to him and talking to him about these this front area. And it was something that Stephanie was working on before she left the county. So it would be a direct select to Mike Norris. We are just looking to fund it. And you can see there that Eileen did the calculation at $30 a square foot. And it is 2,300, a little over 2,300 square feet. And I think the idea too is, with Mike is not to replicate what's inside. It would be for Mike Norris to actually get to do his artwork, probably the proud ball figure within it. And that he gets to paint more of his paint style. Inside Pearson, he really had to play off of what was already existing. There was a lot of sound panels in there. And so she did a wonderful job matching that. But this front would be a nice addition of Mike Norris's work, since he's such a big part of this I don't know if Kim wants to say anything. Kim got to know him pretty well too. But I think it's meaningful to have Mike come back.
I would say that too, and I know he really enjoyed painting at the Pearson Center. And then I know he has relatives in Henderson, of course. So he just enjoyed the overall feel of people coming to talk with him and to see his art also. So, and I will teach at Democracy Prep school a few blocks away. We had, as one of our professional development, we had a tour of the historic West Side, and the Pearson pillars were on our stop. Unbeknownst to me, I was asked to speak about the pillars on the spot, but you know, it went over well. So yeah, I think it would be still a wonderful choice. And I know even some of my coworkers at Democracy Prep, they were in LA, they saw Mike painting something else, and they went up and started chatting with him, saying, "Hey, you did those pillars in Las Vegas, you know, blah, blah, blah." And he was living like, but yes, so it's a job well done, I should say.
If you wanted to look up, he has a nice Instagram and a website, mikenorris.com. To take a look at his artwork style, kind of what he does. He does do a lot of like white walls, text, and this proud Paul figure juxtaposed to really detailed images. Sorry, portraits.
Being a devil's advocate, would there be any pushback by not opening this up to other artists?
I think that's a good conversation for you all to have. I think for West Side community, I think that they embraced Mike because Mike embraced them. And Mike was a part of this community for, 9 months. He was there. Normally we wouldn't do such a thing, but I think that this was a very particular circumstances.
So I guess we probably know my feeling towards him, but you know, I would give him the thumbs up. But as you know, I stated that, you know, we really enjoyed working on this project. And I think the county has already invested in him already also. So it should be an easy, well, from my perspective, it should be fairly easy to say, oh, okay, here you go. But I do understand the politics.
You know, we worried about that from the beginning, not picking a local artist. Mike was the one artist that was outside of our community. But the jurors made that selection. And we did not hear blowback from it at any time during this other project.
I'll say he did his research on that also. So he didn't just pick and choose. It's like did research from day one to start in about 1837 to present date. So he thoroughly did his research, because even some people that came by and said, "Oh, you're so and so," he said, "Well, when I researched, you know, this is what I came up with." So it wasn't that. And he wasn't saying, "Oh, well, since I'm a local, let me just do this person or let me do this family." So he didn't have any buy-in initially, except for the project to, to pay for the payments. So I think that's an excellent thing there that, it's like, oh, well, we did this and we still came up with, the finished project.
Any other thoughts on that? Was that a committee decision or is it just,
We'll vote on it, next month will be the full vote. Right now, it's giving staff direction, so if you wanted the price to be more, if you, said there's no way I'm gonna vote for it to be attached to this artist, I wanted to go to an RFQ, this would be the time to like give us direction so that we are successful in providing a budget agenda item for you to.
well, there's good and, well, there's two sides to this. You don't know what another artist would do, whether the community would embrace that artist or not. In that it is public money. Is it incumbent upon the committee to make sure that there is public involvement? There's questions that come to mind.
Lexi, what do you think?
I'm just wondering who will be able to answer this Jerry's question. Is that a do we need
So,
a
these are
determination?
Yep, yeah, you guys gotta kind of make a decision as a committee on those things. As far as county stands go, I mean, I wouldn't put up something that wouldn't be fiscally able to do. So professional services, I don't need a second quote up until we hit $100,000. Then I need 2 quotes. Technically, the department head waive all of that and write a memo for up to $500,000 and say, I want to hire this person because it is art, because it is unique and you're hiring the person and their art, their artistic ability and not a product that multiple people can make. It becomes, not really a factor in the eyes of purchasing. Like I said, this is not a project. Normally, I wouldn't come to you with such a thing. But this was expressed, I think, through community members, through the commissioner's office, through the community center themselves, that they saw a need for these, squares, this archway to be a wayfinding presence, and that they specifically wanted Mike Norris to do this. But we also have seen in our community, that our community of artists do appreciate having the opportunities to apply for big projects, that kind of stuff. You know, there's no guarantees with Mike that we didn't guarantee that he would get this project. We did check with him to ensure if we had it at this price point, that this was something he felt was fair enough, that he would accept. Because obviously going to the committee, we would not sure that that's good. But as far as giving him or awarding him the project, that is not an option until we secure the funding. Would it help this committee if we had some written testimony from a few key people in our community about this, about wanting mine or not wanting mine? Like, as somebody from left to center,
Sorry to interrupt, but I will pro Mike, just look at the reception or the unveiling, I should say, of the people that were there. First, the documentary that was done. I'll say Clayton White, Richard Richardson. Those are just a few people there that, that very much appreciated project and the finished project also. And so, and that's only just a few people there, but there were many more, the politician, the commissioner, even people at my school who had, they're in the community, but, they were like, aren't they just take the lead? But they saw it and say, oh, yeah, we like it. It's here for a reason. And that's very educational because we send as we did a tour of the historic West Side, there was history there on each of the pillars. And that's what we're doing for our students and scholars. Because, we'll go to the Pearson Center and see these work down to the new West Las Vegas library. See what's going on.
that was all kind of Mike's creation. Mike was given a blank scope as far as what to do with those pillars, and he identified it should be this historical timeline. And as created, then also like Erica's doing programming with the Green Book, where that is now a stop that was made to learn the history of Black people in our community. It's really important. And so I think that's why people are so drawn to Mike in particular, because he really made this project happen. This could have been a person who put up their artwork and did it in 2 weeks and it was done. He chose to spend 9 months in our community and poured over these pillars, and I think he just gained a lot of respect from that. When Ken says there was quite a few, there were hundreds of people at that reception. We never had a dedication that comes remotely close to the response that project had. It's a credit to that community as being just a wonderful community that shares information, that stays really connected. But also, they wouldn't have shown up if they were angry over who got the job.
I'm for me, I'm grateful for your response. I just wanted to explore the yays and the nays of the project, and I'm content to let it proceed as what you've got outlined here. So that's me.
This is Mary. Just my 2 cents. I agree with Jerry that Mickey's outline looks great. I don't see if the community response is positive. I trust interpretations of that response. It'd be nice to keep a good thing going and make it easier on staff.
I
Okay.
vote yes too. It's fine.
Yeah, it does seem like, when there is a lot of project going on and the process do take a while to go through. If this is a project that there's a clear candidate that we can appoint and there's no other issues, I would be in supportive of that.
Although I would say you have a very nice spot for some sculptures.
It's true.
Phase 2. Okay,
So
well,
thank you. So the other pitch, I don't have a slide for or anything, but I wanted to bring to your attention. So we in 3 years we've had 3 part-time graphics people, and every year that person has left, and we've had to get a new graphics person, and then they leave, and then a new one. The price point of what our part-time hourly is for a graphic designer is not anywhere remotely near what and we're beating our head on the wall at this point. So one of the things that I'm gonna put into the budget somehow, but I haven't figured it out, so sorry. Let's get 3 more weeks to figure that one out, and we talk to some finance people, but we have moved forward with a graphics firm called the MYS firm. We have been utilizing them for America 250. We utilized them the year prior for women's empowerment. And so I reached out to MYS immediately when Mustafa had put in his 2-week notice, and I got a price quote from them from now up until the end of October. And so they are charging us $85 per hour at $15, sorry, 15 hours, up to 15 hours per week. What I want to do is I want to kind of carry that on, maybe not with MYS, but with 2 graphics firms. And I want to make sure that the graphics is really, on point with what we need in this office, and that they're really talented graphic artists. So we're looking at a couple different graphic artists and getting their feedback, getting their portfolios. But what I gather is if I split that 15 hours a week, make it 16 hours a week. So 8 hours with one graphic artist and 8 hours with a different one. We're looking at $70,000 per year spent on graphics. And so I want to make sure that we talk about it here, that somehow I have our committee chime in on it next month so that we put it in the arts plan as under operations. And the county commissioners understand and know that we're spending $70,000 on graphic design. We use those services for the arts plan. It's a 50-page book. We use it for all of our calls, for our dedication postcards, our giveaway postcards, for our website, pretty much anything we need. we hire a graphics person to do. Currently, right now, our part-time graphics person was, they were being compensated hourly, and then the county was spending, what's it? I think it was $1,000 a year for the Adobe suites for them, so we'll be able to remove that off. That's still just a fraction of that $70,000.
Would this, like, I guess you have arranged a contract with them? Would that go from year to year to year?
Yeah,
So
yes,
there needs some continuity and,
yes.
you know, in what do they call it, branding?
Yeah. They wouldn't do our social media page, but they would be doing the images for social media. My staff will retain social media.
Well, there is something to be said for consistency in design. Otherwise, people think you're a new agency wanting every year.
Also paying
Is-
somebody outright, you tend to get we're already receiving images or flyers, all of that stuff in a substantially quicker aspect.
Yeah. So you said 15 hours a week? Is that
Up to 15 hours a week. Yeah.
up to? So the 70K split 2 ways,
Yes.
would that be enough?
Yeah, that's my calculation right now. I don't know. As far as the arts plan goes, I started to put together the PowerPoint that my director had requested. And I was looking at that document, realizing that because it hit after July 1st, so it was already hit the fiscal year, all of that information in that document was completely wrong. And was so out of date that I couldn't realistically take that to the BCC and not get laughed out of the room. So NYS is going to pick up doing that project. She took a look at the initial 50 pages and said, well, that's going to be about 40 hours of work if she starts over. So, so we'll see. We'll have cases like that where we may have to par, but at least we're upfront, being transparent about how we're utilizing this funding. Like I said, NYS was a quick resolve to get us going. That's why I only did it till October. And then Eileen has been reaching out to various graphic designers, really like artsy graphic designers, to see about their portfolio. And in the next month or so, we'll start approaching them about that, those 2 PMs.
So this is a figure that would appear on next month's budget agenda?
Yes.
Okay. But that would be for the whole year? The calendar or fiscal year or?
Yes, fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you.
Do anyone want to look at any of the other pages before we move on? Different projects, I should say. Probably good, Jerry, to close out this agenda item.
Okay, so moving on to agenda item number 6. Is that where we are?
Yes, it is.
Assigning a jury member to existing call. One board member will be assigned to represent the art committee on the jury for the following public art project. Aquatic Springs, District F.
So reminder of this project, this is to put sound panels in the entryway of the swimming pool.
You said sound panels
Sound panels, yeah.
to mute sound to not leave?
Yes. Yeah, so when we were looking for projects back in FY 24, this was a project that the aquatic staff came to the art committee about. They were looking for some type of mural within this complex, but they also have an issue with this room being super echoey. There's no sound panels in this gigantic tower. And so the art committee funded this project as an art project, but it also uses sound panel technology to reduce the sound. And this pitch was for not just merely throw your artwork on sound panels. So it looks like square painting. This project was more like utilize different shapes and textures of sound panels to create a artistic design on those walls.
Is the area limited to the wall in the picture?
Oh, there's
Oh, there's 4 walls.
and I think if I want to say the calculation was 30%, 30 or 40% of the wall is covered in order for that sound reduction.
And
You
the
said there's a tower? Sorry. Go ahead.
I was wondering who provided the calculation.
Somebody in real property management. Let's see.
And
So
Jerry,
I
I
think
think this is the tower it's just inside a tower, I think is what she said.
I'll send you. Share for a second. So this is the outside of that building. So it's this tower here.
Mhm.
These windows. It's just this barn-like structure.
Would the panels go up that tower on the inside?
Yes, on the inside. Because you'll see here, there's double doors here. The whole other side is double doors and glass because that goes into the pool area. And then it's open to the left, our left, because that is where the cashier booth is. So it would have to go up high.
I would think that tower would act like an echo chamber.
Mhm.
Yes, that's why the sound panels are significantly needed.
Um, so we needed
Jury member.
a jury member from the board. Any volunteers? Any
I will
swimmers?
volunteer.
Oh,
I'm interested in the acoustic project.
then you have it. Thank you. That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have to make a
Okay.
motion.
What's that?
So now, because it is a real agenda item that can be voted on, you have to make a motion. So somebody, Alexia could say, she makes the motion to accept, then somebody seconds. And then
Okay. Alexia.
It sounds like I'm making a motion to assign myself for this project.
I second it. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
I
Aye.
Any opposed? You got it. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, then moving on to this agenda item 7. Is that where we are?
Yeah, so unfortunately, when I made that, I asked if you would allow me to make that one tiny change in the bylaws of adding public art to the art position. That's in our DA saying you need 2 more consecutive meetings of it not changing in order for you to vote. So Gianna, do you have a slide that shows that change? So now the bylaws are gonna read for membership, so 1 public arts staff member from a local entity within Southern Nevada excluding.
Um, isn't Southern Nevada Clark County?
Yes, I think it needs. I think he had taken out excluded Park County prior to. So what we mean in Clark County is wouldn't want that all of a sudden when Mickey goes, aha, I'm now on the board. Is, I think, the thought process there, but you would need to say excluding agency, Clark County, or that, if we wanted to go that far with it.
Like, or Clark County government agencies?
That won't, I don't know that that would work either, because we would want to be able to have City of Las Vegas, Mary Saba would be on. I feel like Jay had taken that off. And if he has, that should be a, since that was already showing, hopefully it doesn't re-spin another 2 months.
Mickey, the next slide shows the excluding Clark County
Let's cut
section.
off. Yep, I would suggest that that's how it leads. Let's just give me the part. I promise I won't jump on it. Deal with that later. And it's also not uncommon. You have like City of Las Vegas, their director sits on the board. It's okay if somebody from Clark County did. And it's not the issues in Clark County. It's time to have a staff member.
Where,
Wondering too, Gianna, if he wants it lists without how he has it list to. We'll get him a clean document. Make sure Jay approves it. I think we go without the excluding Clark County because of the conflicting issues that has, and see if that
Yeah.
flies.
okay. All right. Thank you. Now, what are we, agenda item 8?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Okay, so open calls, we have temporary public art. So this is that youth public art classes. We are looking for 4 artists for the spring session. Of course, we always have the call for qualifications. That's our music list. We have the 25th annual Life and Death exhibit. That call is out right now. And then we're always looking for public art project evaluators. Our poet laureate, Miss Avey, is still trucking along. She did 4 events in July with 50 people showing up to the Helen Meyer. So she was a guest speaker for Helen Meyer, which is one of our community centers that specializes in school. We also have the EK Poetry that happened this weekend. That was at the Rita Dean Abbey Art Museum. And, it says 50 there. I believe it was 20 people that attended that one, but it was a great showing. That art museum is in District C, and I think that they're interested in doing a bit more programming with organic arts. And they're looking to, right now they're working with BLM to try to lease out land that's next to them. So it might be an opportunity to do temporary public art out in that space. And then, of course, we want to celebrate Miss AV. So if you all are interested, mark your calendars. September 5th is Miss AV's celebration at Winchester Bandero Cultural Center. We're going to have poets. There's going to be a dance troupe, and then Samir is painting a mural on the bench at Winchester. That is also going to highlight Miss AV's poem that she created as the poet laureate, and celebrating that she is the 2025-2026 poet laureate. And then poetry program. Interviews have been done for the next poet laureate. We have identified that person, but they are going to be celebrated and announced at the book festival that City of Las Vegas hosts every year. We also had an Inkwell workshop on 7/25 with 8 attendees. And then AA Monet will be doing her virtual info workshop on 8/29.
Okay, so for this month's full scope, we have Dr. Audrey Lopez. She will be talking to us about her position as the Public Art Director at the Greenway Conservancy. And that will be next Tuesday at 3 p.m. through WebEx.
We have the Youth Art Education Temporary Public Arts Program. We've already started our training for the fall artists and have already scheduled most of our workshops for our fall artists. So we've got workshops scheduled for September and October, and we'll be promoting those on our upcoming newsletter. And then our call, if you can promote to your networks, is closing September 1st for our spring artists.
For solo series, the 4 artists have been identified. Carla is meeting with that first artist next week, and installation for that exhibit is happening shortly this month on 8/25. Yasmin Garcia will be starting the exhibit work. She has identified that her workshop is going to be on October 8th, and the reception is set for October 22nd. You see the rest of those artists as well. Andre Graves is going to come in to the next exhibit. Terry Pastrone, sorry, I can't read all of these. And then Crystal Lugo will round out solo series for this. So congratulations to all of those artists. Currently sitting in the rotunda is Be Home Soon. Juror is Jennifer Clevin, and that reception is going to be Thursday, August 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Clark County Government Center. Please join us. We will have small bites. We do have a musician will play background music, and then we'll have awards set around 7:30 that night. At the end of the reception, the artists de-install, so it makes it for a fun event with lots of most of the artists show up. So it's a good time. That's gonna be Thursday, August 27th. And then the very next day, we'll be installing, walking through amendments. Winchester Gallery now has Desert Pools, by Hickman. And, so Hickman is the jury member for this exhibit. There was 26 applications and 35 artists were selected. It's gonna run August 11th through October 8th with a reception on October 8th. That time for Winchester receptions is 5:30 to 7:30. And for the reception there, we just do small bites. We do not have live music just because of the tight space. And then Wetlands, their reception is this weekend. It's August 15th. And their show is called In Between Worlds. Usually their receptions are in the morning. I apologize, I don't have a time on it. We should contact Wetlands to get that time. And they had 44 apps. They selected 27. And in marketing insights, so for Facebook in July 2nd through August 2nd, looks like we had 5,540 views. We have 113 interactions, and we have 1,925 followers. For Instagram, for that same time period, we had 53,000 views. We had 2,000 interactions and 5,500 followers. In our newsletter, we had an open rate of 39% for our articles, our events at 37%. 37% open rate. So we're doing okay on marketing. Ariel Santos, our poetry coordinator, has picked up doing our social media. And it's gonna continue doing the social media.
Okay, so for conservation, Gianna, can you go to the next one, please? For the ZAP monthly for the month of August, American Graffiti recorded and removed 7 tags in the Las Vegas area for the month of, oh, I'm sorry, that was for the month of July. Next one, please, Jan. For the Campley bathroom mural, this is still on hold. We are still waiting for the camp participants to finish, and then Brenda will be going back up there. I believe that is in October to finish the mural. And then for Reach, it looks like Brett said he has already secured one GC who is interested in taking up this project to do the maintenance on. He is still waiting for 2 more GCs to get quotes from. And then the Aku Aku sign, we just got word from Hamilton Blake. They have sent us the proofs for the 2 signs. So they are currently finalizing those. They are finally locked in with a installer. So they will be finishing up getting that permit done so they can install those signs for us. And then for Octosteam, The conversation has been a little bit everywhere recently. I don't think the communication has been very well between the artist and our conservator. But I believe as of right now, the artist is at the point where he needs to apply for a traffic control plan in order to do any of those maintenances on the median. And in Winchester Skate Park, Brett is currently editing the specifications needed for the project, so we should be getting those quotes out soon. And then last but not least, his conservation report for August. It looks like he is currently repairing the shade structure at Flamingo Arroyo Trailhead, and it's to be expected to be done by the end of August. The Flamingo Arroyo Underpass mural, underpass currently blocked by homeless encampment, coordinating with Public Works right now to schedule a date to clear the area in order to remove those tags. The Beat Feet sculpture at Southwest Ridge Park, it did have a couple of tags on it and some paint damage. Repair is planned to be in September, I believe. And then Made in the Shade sculpture, a pedestal had some peeling and damage as well and needs to be repaired. That should also be getting done in September. And then the last item we have on here, we did have some graffiti on the Winchester mural. So we are reaching out to get that removed as well. That should be sooner. It looks like about next week we should have that done. And then for community engagement, for the stencil art project, we were finally able to receive those POs for the artists. So currently right now, the artists are working on their designs. We should be seeing those sometime soon.
The America 250 Signal Box project, Sticky Inky received their PO a few weeks ago. They did respond that starting tomorrow through next week, they'll be installing those 9 utility boxes, and then we can set a dedication to celebrate that project after the fact. The A's Elephant temporary sculpture, the district just changed to only District E. It's going in front of the government center. It is not going at Desert at all. Contracts have been signed at this point, and so it is kind of all in their court to put together a installation plan and approach our office and the government center about when to do this install.
And then Parkdale Hispanic Heritage mural is still on hold. We are still looking at September for Juan to return to Parkdale to finish the mural. And then for Spring Mountain Youth Camp Empowerment Art, we just finished the installation. So everything's all completed and all of the vendors have been paid. We are just now starting to talk about a dedication event. We're hoping to do one during one of their football games. So we already have a crowd going, and hopefully Commissioner will agree and do a quick dedication for these public art pieces. So the Stadium District mural, we are still waiting to take this to BCC, and once that goes through there, we should start seeing some progression. Juvenile Justice Service mural, currently right now we are putting the jury together. Tammy is working on this one. Once we have the language finalized, we will call that jury together and have that that first jury meeting.
Again, this project is on hold until you go to the BCC.
And Desert Flow. So we went through the design presentations. We identified the winning design. Right now, we're working with a couple different departments, such as RPM, to make sure that we have everything, all the details that we need in order to go back to the artist and start contracting. And same thing with Red Rock Legacy. Right now, we did identify an artist in the design. So we are working with several different departments, such as the DA and RPM, to get those final details put together, and then we will go back to the artist and start contracting as well.
And Sunset Signature, we're still waiting on currently is we need a chime in from our district attorney. Soon as I think tomorrow is when his deadline is for that agreement. So as that agreement gets back from him, then we'll take it back over to purchasing and they can finally reach out to the artists about moving forward with this contract.
And wetlands, at the moment, we are currently reaching out to general contractors to pick up the pedestal part of this project. The artist has given us an update. Once we give him his next milestone payment, he will start fabricating the sculpture.
Well, thank you again. That's quite a list of projects. Moving on now to agenda item 9, to identify emerging issues by the committee at future meetings. Comments made during this portion of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda items, and any discussion shall be limited to whether such proposed items shall be placed on a future agenda. No discussion regarding the substance of any proposed topic shall occur, and no action shall be taken. From the committee members, are there any thoughts on future projects that could be added to a future agenda? Okay, then moving on to agenda item 10, comments by the general public. Are there any people from the public who on board or want to make a comment?
Jerry, we do have one person from the public. No comments at the moment, though. Just for the record, Samir Asnani is here as well.
Okay. So no one wanted to make a comment? No. Okay. Then agenda item 11, the next meeting date is Tuesday, September 8th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. Okay. Very good. Then agenda item number 12, we stand adjourned. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, Mickey and staff, for all your work. I know it's a handful. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.